in Ascend, and not to mention the quality of the practice when you get to stage days as well. But TT sort of on this, I won't call it a miracle run just yet, but they're, you know, certainly on their way to having that conversation, as up until the very last day of the regular season, they were not a lock for this tournament. There was a chance they came 5th. They had to earn their spot on the, you know, one of the last days of Nirvana in their last game. And they did so, and then they ended up being 2nd because of the way everything else worked out. So they've drawn IG, and they've made a really good start of making it actually stick.
And this game is going to be so telling for the momentum of the rest of the series. It's either IG wake up and it is a big evening of the keel for them, or TT take the advantage, as that is the Cassiopeia first pick. Not something we see very often, as now is going to be locking that one in.
Okay, if Heru takes Akali here, this is the typical quote-unquote answer. I'm throwing hands. I hate this counter pick to the Cassiopeia. I'm going to be completely honest. But we'll wait and see what it is that gets locked in. With the Xin Zhao there, I think you've got the ability now to go for something quite stable in that mid lane and make life of the Cassio quite miserable. And you can quite easily outrange the Cassiopeia. One of the pitfalls that she falls into is she's very mid-range. So, you know, things like an Anivia can do very well versus her, just sort of keeping her in place, keeping her at range. ThunderTalk, though, they've gone for one of those heavy early skirmishing junglers, the Xin Zhao early on. So back to those bridge style, not carry necessarily, style junglers.
And also taking it away from Wei, who has played as Xin Zhao, I feel like, more than any other jungler so far in the split. As we will end up seeing the Jace locked in there for TT. So going with a little bit of that ranged setup as well. And we'll see the Jarvan as the answer, typical answer, I guess, when we're seeing the Jarvan versus Xin Zhao matchup so rampantly.
This is the jungle equivalent of Corki Azir. You know,
why'd you have
I
to
see
do
these
that?
two,
Why,
and I'm like,
okay,
cool. These are the two stable junglers that we will at some point fall back to. I mean, fairness to Corki, he's transitioned. He's moved on in his life. Now a bot laner. So back where it feels like maybe the Corki belonged in the first place. As a Sion gets locked in for Invictus Gaming on that top side, Breathe putting the tank fries in the bag this time and making sure that he's going to be the one to sort of be stalwart. TT now needs to pick some damage and something that can get through a tank and make sure that it is not all for nothing that you see this tank and you pick no tank tread.
Go get the gloves ready, Rude. You're gonna be throwing hands, I'm sure, as the Akali gets locked in. I'm actually with you. I think with the amount, like, there is some mechanical outplay, but you're asking yourself to reach a bar of execution that's maybe a lot higher than some of the other options that you'd give.
This is the equivalent of Wei taking Neferi in game 1, where
literally,
he's just like, you know, you've got nothing to answer this, except this time. Heru sees what the answer is before he locks it in. Now, I've only ever seen this matchup look bad for the Akali. I'm going to be completely honest. I guess the idea is that you can just kill the Cassiopeia, but you have to eat it badly in the early stages of this lane. Like, levels 1 through 6 are not easy at all. And once you get to that level 6, do you have the damage to get through a Cassio who's built a Catalyst, who's, you know, got consistent DPS on you? We will see. Either way, though, as we look at this composition for ThunderTalk, they've got quite a big mismatch, really. They've got double dive in the Xin Zhao and the Akali, and then they've got Jace for backline support. Again, as much as I'm advocating for this champion another time round, the Jhin for ThunderTalk actually very, very powerful here, as it offers another layer of dive, another layer of threat. Alternatively, TT could look to go for something like a Zeri or a Kai'Sa that can also dive into that backline with them. Invictus Gaming, on the flip side of things, obviously they've got themselves this very stable front line with the Sion. They've got good DPS out of Nia, and JiaQi needs to stay stable, really, as something else that can provide that alternate damage source.
We are seeing a continuation of the bot lane focus in the bans here, as the Caitlyn, the Lulu banned away by TT. It's going to be the Callista Bard banned by IG.
Yeah, and I guess with all the dive going down, it doesn't shock me that they're looking to get away, or doesn't shock me that they're getting rid of some of the dive. And I think that obviously those sort of dive style picks are still something that I would like to see from ThunderTalk, something that can go with the Xin Zhao, go with the Akali. Obviously the hybrid of Jace means that he can swap forms, go hammer form, and start getting in the mixer as well. They just need something to help find that access, as it's the Nautilus that I think is getting locked in. TT are taking their time with this, and then probably Kai'Sa gets rounded out here, but that would be a... They have to see what's getting locked in by IG first of all.
We might finally get some of the variation of the Enchanter bot lane meta that we've been in for so long, it feels like. But I do really like the Nautilus. Just giving some setup tools against this composition, I think, feels really good. Yeah,
now, I really don't like this TT comp. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's really difficult to execute. It's definitely not a comp that is going to be easy to get through Invictus Gaming. Obviously, trying to find a way through Sion, through Jarvan. Not going to be the easiest thing, and if they can do it, then great, right? Like, that's the goal, is that if they get on top of JiaQi, if they get on top of Nia, then they'll be able to go crazy. If they can't do that, though, if they can't find access, that then becomes a problem, because that big front line with now a Braum locked in front of all of that is going to come in and be a real determining factor for this. And they've locked in a Senna alongside it. It's Jhin light in terms of damage for the late game, but also does offer that support on the dive, right? The Dawning Shadow comes down, you can help out your divers going in. I do just think that this composition is very difficult to execute for ThunderTalk. I think that the center into the Braum feels nice. You could probably stack up off the Braum quite easily, but the Braum into the Nautilus feels amazing. And the whole IG composition into ThunderTalk feels amazing.
Dude, Feather's not going to get to play the game for like the first 8 minutes. Like, he steps up to the lane, he is going to die. Those concussive blows are going to hurt real bad, but as you said, it's a little bit of a swapping of the hands. We had the difficult to execute comp from IG in game number 1. This time TT are trying to one-up them with their own difficult to execute comp, and I think that might just be exactly what IG want to get themselves back into this series.
I mean, you'd have to hope so. Invictus Gaming, they've got the tools here. They've got a very good 5v5 front to back. You know, nice and calm, nice and standard League of Legends that we should be hoping for. Whereas
Bree's just going to be standing there, dancing his way through the team fights. Nobody's killing him. He's just invincible.
He's clicking people. He's channeling Qs. He's having a great time. And then, you know, the big problem that I highlighted was, okay, you see Sion. How do you kill Sion? And then we locked the singular worst pick for picking that champion.
Well, we're going to have to find out what TT have as answers here. Game 2 of our second best of 5 of the day, TT versus IG.
Alrighty. Again, to highlight this, eyes on our junglers, Mazel. Because if Junhao does not go absolutely nuclear this game, IG is sending us to a 1-1, and the game should be quite easy for Invictus Gaming. They are going to need, as ThunderTalk here, a very, very solid early game with a losing mid lane, probably losing bot lane, and then a Jace versus Sion on the top side. So I think that this is already one of the more difficult positions to find yourself in, unless Arn and Feather can work some real magic down on this bot side and get the Senna nicely up some stacks.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I'm maybe not liking is the amount of magic that's needed that we've highlighted so far for TT. I feel like we're running out of magic options if there's just so much that is needed, and that's something that TT have drafted themselves into. As we are going to see a little bit of push prio go to IG's bot side here. It will be the opposite side starts for both junglers, so a bit of different focus there. And a level 2 hawk shot from JiaQi, going to spot out Junhao.
Yes, the clear's spotted, clear's known here for Invictus Gaming, and I think that for TT here, they're going to have to play, much like they did in game number 1 with the Lee Sin, a little bit blinders on. And so ignoring Sion is their best way to play this game, because they can't kill him. So the best way for them to play this out is kill everybody that's not Sion, and then come back to him at the end.
That's the decision-making tree here. If this, then that, and then you just move down until it's finally kill Sion.
Yeah.
There was a bit of trading in the bot side. I'm surprised we haven't seen a little bit more aggressive trades there, trying to use some of those cheaper summoner spells earlier. this is just how this mid lane matchup is going to go. Heru having a good time last game. It's going to take a little bit till he's feeling that way this game.
Yeah, I think that the small thing there to look at is the fact that Nya down on mana. Breathe once again.
Okay, he's going to back off there. Both flashes do get burned.
But look at which jungler's pathing up here. Worth mentioning that Junhao is the one on the top side of the map, but it's Wei who's going to get spotted as he leaves this tri-brush. Looks like they're looking for a dive.
Be known, as they were able to see the path. Oh, decimating smash into the CC. Keshi not going to get. We got the dive going bot side though. That's where we got to be careful. Nice flash coming out from On. He buys a little bit of time. Meiko. He gets the kill back.
A disaster.
They should be able to get 2. They might even be able to get 3. Wei's not going to die yet, but he might go down now. The minions. It's not enough. I don't think Feather can get there either. Feather's looking for the finishing kill, but he can't do it. It is still disaster for IG early on in the bot side play.
Okay, let me cope here. I think this is still good for Invictus Gaming. Yes, the kill score doesn't paint that picture. On the top side, Junhao did get in and did take out Breathe without Keshi falling, importantly. So Keshi got the kill, and they were able to take out Breathe as well. I still think that bot lane play is winning for Invictus Gaming because JiaQi got the big wave crash underneath the turret, and they got the kill onto the Ashe instead of where on the flip side those kills went to Nautilus. But it looks like Junhao here just gets in, flashes, makes sure that that knockup is going to come through, tanks the turret perfectly, and they're able to find the play there, which is really solid stuff. But now look at this experience difference between these marksmen. This is going to be JiaQi collecting this entire sort of wave and a half there, going in his back pocket, instead of On, who lost out on a large majority of that underneath the tier 1 turret.
Tough trades early on, some back and forth, and a little bit more sparks flying than we had in game number 1. That's what I love to see.
Yeah.
We are probably going to renew focus down towards that bond side, though we did see early dragon stacking focus last game. We will have a Chemtech dragon coming up first and foremost here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, and importantly, that gold lead that we can see at the top of our screens, it's pretty fake. All of it's on Feather, and then yes, there's a little bit of it for Keshi as well, so the amount of gold that's actually important here is the fact that, you know, Keshi's got a lead over Breathe, but you're playing Jace versus Sion. That's expected to happen anyway. Now, Dragon started up early by Invictus Gaming. It started up by Wei, who's, you know, down a little bit in experience, or rather down a little bit in that CS department as well, but he's capitalizing on the fact that his bot lane have pushed in a wave, and he's going to be able to make a play happen and make that neutral objective go his team's way.
Oh, Breathe. Still will be okay for now. Doesn't have TP to get back. Obviously something to think about when he's trading with his health bar, as we are going to get a play from Junhao on the bot side. IG overstaying just a little bit. The dredge line lollipop from distance, and you're going to have to suck on that one. JiaQi goes down. Junhao the next kill going over to TT, and now it's going to be Meiko ran down. Heru should be able to finish that one off, and TT find the cheeky kills.
I like the sidestep from Meiko. Unfortunately, puts him back into auto range, and Heru does get rewarded for the roam. I like that from ThunderTalk, that, you know, Heru sacrifices a lot to get down here, and you are going to be able to find another plate in that mid lane. We said early on, Mazel, that Junhao needs to have a heater. So far, 3 out of 5 kill participation, has had 2 very successful ganks, and his team haven't fallen for them either. So often in situations like that, you know, the Senna can be left to forfeit, can fall, and not really generate as much of an advantage as you might like. That's not the case here. On now with a gold lead over JiaQi, despite the fact that, you know, he got dove underneath his tier 1 turret, lost out on a massive wave. I think this is a really good start for ThunderTalk. They need to keep this ball rolling, don't get me wrong. Their composition sucks as the game gets later. But if they can win early and never get to later, that's how they win this game.
And that's kind of what they were able to masterfully do last game as well, just ending like 28 minutes in. About a minute until the grubs do come up on the top side of the map. That could be the next renewed focus here. So far, TT going to be pretty happy with some of the small advantages they did get early on. Feather still not going to have a good time down here in the bot lane for a while. But I do want to check in on these matchups, especially in when this matchup gets any better for Heru, because he is down like 20 CS in the mid lane now, and it just feels like he's going to have some sort of miracle to bring him into the game.
Well, he's got an alternator now, which is like about as good as it's going to get until 3 items, if I'm being completely honest with you. because Nya now going to go back to base, he's going to get that catalyst, and that's then a bit of a problem as Feather is able to nicely spider wall his way out of here. But I think that, you know, that he didn't even go catalyst, so that's just extra BM really. He's gone for the blasting one to be able to continually put down the harass on to Heru. It's probably just a more efficient way to spend his gold with the amount that he went back with. Grub's now spawning up on this top side. Top prio has pretty consistently been in favour of Keshi, as we would expect after that first kill, but look who's here in the mid lane for Invictus Gaming. First of all, Meiko able to get in, so 4v3 on this top side to start off with.
And he does hit level 6, and Feather's not even close to his level 6. So Glacial Fisher, a big game changer here in this fight potentially. Junhao's going to come over, some vision being fought over. Grubs had been started. JiaQi with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to line it up. He just has to hit the target. It's going to be straight onto Heru, and now they collapse with the Unstoppable Onslaught as well. It's Knockup City, and it is going to be IG finding the pick they need ahead of the objective.
Yeah, pretty disastrous there. I mean, Heru, big mistake. You've got flash. You've just got to flash those. I know that the possibility is that he's got his camera looking up towards the top side, doesn't see the Ash Arrow coming from downtown either. But if you don't flash that, then you're just dead. So that's a big win and one of the powers that this Ash player, or that this Ash champion does have as you move in through this game. Now, Wei finds 2. He's got smite here to try and contest the 3rd. Not going to get all 3. A nice deny for ThunderTalk, but look how that play has completely eradicated any gold lead. Nya found the kill in that mid lane, and this Casio B1, which I'm seeing all too frequently be absolutely monstrous, is you know, 1k up over its counterpart now.
That's what feels so good, especially talking about the newer faces in mid lane for Heru and Nya, and wanting to see Nya feel comfortable again, because we've seen some high highs from this new player for IG. And it's been when he's on the comfort, right? I still remember his first game, whipping out the Akali and this absolute monstering over the opponent. And just trying to find where he feels comfortable, where he can execute to really enable the win cons of IG. Because we say it's led by Wei, but he's got to have some soldiers behind him. A nice play from Heru to get away from the petrifying gaze.
I mean, I think that's your window to try and make something happen. It's probably still losing. I mean, Rod of Ages picked up for Nya. He's got so much sustain at this stage, as well as all of the health that's in his back pocket. Like, this Casio is going to run the mid lane for a good long while now, and we're probably going to need to wait until, like I say, those 3rd items come through before it looks good for Heru. Maybe on Shadow Flame completion, you can make something happen with the Gunblade as well. But that's a long, long ways away. So it's about facilitating the Akali here for ThunderTalk, and it's about Junhao continuing to make things happen. Again, 600 gold lead is a good start, but it's not enough for them to win this game. So they're going to need to do a lot more with, you know, the little lead that they've got.
We do see Dragon started up by TT, so this would even up the Dragon stacking between the teams. Some movement coming out from Wei, but I don't think he's going to make it here in time.
This should just be winning for IG.
Oh, insta cleanse coming out from On. Dragon is delayed. Wei is in the pit, but it's still going to go over to Junhao. He's able to secure the Dragon. Heru coming over on the back. Dawning Shadow coming across on multiple members. That execution hit 3 as Heru finds the big redemption play.
And Nya just can't do the damage there. It's actually Heru, like you mentioned, redeeming that lost mid lane. And now with 2 kills to his name, feels like he's in the driver's seat. The Dragon goes their way. They get kills on both of the carries. And Invictus Gaming once again struggling up against ThunderTalk.
We're not praying for miracles anymore. Heru is making his own, a 3-man perfect execution. And it was all kicked off by IG trying to get the engage on the Dragon steal.
Yeah, and just, again, this Casio is the leading chunk of gold. We miss out as Keshi gets dove on that top side. The whole point of that replay is look who Nya's actually able to get damage down onto, and it's a really good toggle between Feather and Junhao, as he spends a lot of time pumping Twin Fangs into a Crescent Guard, completely pointless, and then Nya actually focuses out on, you know, trying to keep himself alive, make sure that he doesn't get killed by the Akali, but that's just a lost cause at that point. Arn was able to stay safe and able to keep himself alive as well, which really didn't feel like that should have been the case, having that he got caught by Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Either way, ThunderTalk more than happy with that situation, and they'll be walking away with another slight advantage.
Holding on to this 1,000 gold lead in this game. Still start seeing some of the punchback that IG have in stow, though. I think now as we have hit our first items, we have a little bit more push prio from On with the static shiv completion, a little bit more kill pressure as well with Heru for the Hextech Gunblade. but these item completions can start sparking a little bit more fighting pressure. And a funny little Serpent's Fang start there for Keshi. He just gets hit straight on the noggin, and Nya just gets to sink his fangs deep into Keshi. He's not going to go down. It was a good attempt.
I mean, I was genuinely expecting that to be
just not enough
a quick
damage
solo
with the
kill.
stacking items.
Yeah, I guess not at this stage. I mean, fortunate that Keshi's able to get away. He's gone for the Serpent's Fang to start off with, so not really in a position to try and fight back versus the Casio anyway. But
Interested at the Serpent's Fang.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of, I guess, there's 3 champions this game with shielding abilities, right? The Scion, the Jarvan, the Casio, who's going to get that from his Seraphs at some stage, plus Locket is likely in the works for Feather, for Meiko as well, so it's interesting, and I think that it's a really good pickup versus the Scion just independently.
Okay. See some tussling in mid lane. Oh, an all-in from Heru. We've seen this matchup before in the LDL, and now we get to see it in the LPL. Heru going for the kill, and Nya is desperately trying to hang on here. He's slithering his way away. The Dawning Shadow had come across already. It's going to be Heru trying to move in, but now it's Nya coming back to his team. Shuriken Flip will be used to get away for the moment. And unfortunately, nobody dies, which I was excited for.
Yeah, throws a shuriken into the bush. Hold on, you're not Cassiopeia. That's not who I want to take in. Heru walks away there, so you can already start to see that this top lane matchup has, or mid lane matchup rather, not necessarily skewed, but more favourable for Heru than anything else. And they are still able to zone out, and the Akali doesn't have the damage yet to completely one-shot the Cassiopeia. Feels okay, feels fine for now, but not the best spot for IG to find themselves in, as again it's ThunderTalk still with the burden of execution. They still need to make something happen in this game. This dragon in about 1 minute 10 seconds going to be really important. The Herald that's going to spawn in 10 seconds really important as well. If TT are looking to make a real stake on this claim, I'd expect them to be going for both. At the very least though, they need to be settling for one of them.
Looks like both junglers heading to the promised land. That is top side objective. Rift Herald has spawned up. We see a bit of an invade coming out with some vision potentially for Wei. It's the Hex Gates that do enable Junhao to get out here in time. Still some fighting happening in the mid lane 2v2 as well ahead of this one. The vision play being fought and won by IG now.
Yeah, so really nice mechanics here. One of the things that you should be doing on Senna. You Q first, then you auto. The Shiv reduces the cooldown of the Q for every target that it hits. As that now Nya in trouble.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow blocks them in their path. A really good petrifying gaze, and now it's going to be Junhao that finds himself in some trouble. Beautiful flash, Crescent Guard. He escapes. Now the dunk, though, unfortunately comes for his support in Feather, who does fall. All the ultis, except for the Unstoppable Onslaught used by IG to win out on this Rift Herald play.
Yeah, and Breathe there just sort of sat in base, deciding does he want to TP top, TP down to that bot side. It's IG who come out on top and are able to secure this Rift Herald. Feather gives his life for Junhao there, who doesn't Crescent Guard ahead of that Enchanted Crystal Arrow hitting him. Means that he's had to flash away. But it's a good save by TT support. Again, you know, highlighting one of the players who's definitely worth getting some credit for. But it's Invictus Gaming who are able to collapse. And at this stage in the game, if you're the ones winning out on these skirmishes, that's a really bad sign for ThunderTalk. This dragon going to be crucially important for them as we look at some of the ultis across the board. Nothing particularly available for either side. It's Dawning Shadow, and that's about it to make the difference.
The timers on the ult, IG really gaming together here. Like, they were literally all succinct in terms of when they were getting popped. Obviously, the cooldowns are a bit different across the board there, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow might just be up ahead of this fight, as it is going to be the Rift Herald play as a distraction Karn effect for IG. Potentially take this one down. Heru's in the side lane taking a turret himself.
Okay, and now on in the mid lane with that static shift, looking to get some sort of wave clear down. Tier 1 won't fall for IG. It's going to be ThunderTalk getting a quick little cash injection
doing some
onto
good damage
Heru.
there.
Yeah, that's the soul pull, and they do manage to secure a nice dragon, though, as IG do get that objective overall. Again, I think this is a really big deal for ThunderTalk. They are very heavily reliant on Hextech Drakes to get them up to a soul, to get them to a win condition. Oh, doing incredible work here up against JiaQi.
Dawning Shadow blocked.
Yep.
there. Nice little stand behind me, plus the shield combo with the Unbreakable. And that is now with the Static Shiv a little bit dicey. We'll get the back off.
So Senna's had lots of changes to her soul stacks, and are the breakpoints 25, 30, 50, it's whatever. 20 stacks equals 20 range, and the breakpoint is every 20 as well. So currently 3 increments have been hit for Arn. He's got up to 60, so he's got a bonus of 60 range currently on the Senna. Again, the one caveat to, well, how do they ever kill Sion is if Arn gets 6 items, maybe then he can do it.
Something to hold on to as we move forward into this game, but a much more contestable game by IG in this one comparatively to the game number 1. Does feel like they've opened their sleepy eyes maybe a little bit here in this best of 5. Again, you got to remember the stakes. There's a lot of weight on the shoulders of both these teams right now, especially for IG, to maintain their group ascend standing. And Wei maybe getting caught out here. Could be a nice double root coming through, double knock up in the depth charge, double TPs. We got double everything. Might as well go ahead and go for a 2-kill too. I think Heru getting a kill on JiaQi. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, that's gorgeous from Heru there. Knows his only way in is with a shuriken flip to get back out, so pops it down in the shroud. Sneaks in, takes out JiaQi, and that's the goal for TT this game. If they can take out the carries, then they can play these team fights out. Again, you know, see that programming status. If Sion is here, ignore. Kill everybody else, come back to Sion at the end, and that's how they've been playing these out. Heru, excellent performance on the Akali. He, like we've mentioned, going to have to struggle through the early stages of the laning phase. Did that rather elegantly, and now finds himself with almost a 1k gold lead over Nya.
And what a place to be. We've been doubting this Akali play. We've been doubting some of the moments from Heru in game 2. And now IG might be doubting themselves.
So on here, a little bit split. He sees the souls, he wants to collect them, and then decides, okay, well, we're fighting, I have to go now. But look at Heru, puts the shroud down, E down into the shroud, hop over the wall, catch the Ash, E back out. Beautiful Akali play.
Oh, we look back in live. Junhao found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nice disengage, but On have the instant Captain Jax out of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. He'll try to farm up some souls on the back end of it, but now IG in full strength mid lane.
Yeah, this is a Senna with Black Cleaver, by the way, who did no damage to Breathe, so that's just giving you a little bit of a highlight for some of the problems that they're going to find when the Sion turns up. But they killed the jungler. There's 20 minutes on the board. Mazel, we've got a second early start of the Baron here in as many games.
Heru pretty scary though, does have everything available for him. On having the Dawning Shadow 2, Unstoppable Onslaught's going to be used. They're going to crash here straight onto Feather, who is bursted
Good
down.
poke.
And there you go. We got the joining of Keshi with the Hammer Slammer, as now Heru trying to finish off some of the kills here. There's the classic dunk coming through from Wei as Heru makes his escape with the perfect execution. But here comes Junhao from the top ropes. It's like we're watching WWE. TT find a double kill for their jungler and looking for more on the Breathe.
The game plan is simple, Mazel. Just ignore the Sion as they're going to kill him in the end. And maybe they now can be the ones to do some damage to the objectives of IG. A ace for 2. Feather fell at the beginning. I want you to take a look at how this fight actually breaks down. Feather blocking for the ulti, unable to buy space, get away. Dawning Shadow plus EQ from Keshi. And watch Arn in this fight. He walks into the brush. He can hit Wei, yeah. He can hit Breathe, yeah. No, I'm going to hit over the wall. I'm going to go for Nya. I'm going to go for Meiko. I'm going to go for the carries, the people that matter. And everybody else on TT is on the exact same page. Breathe is still full HP. Nobody cares about this Sion. Currently being irrelevant in these fights. He's just a walking meat sack that's not doing enough.
We talked about the decision-making tree. If this, then that. And it is Sion that is left to the end. And that is something TT will take to the bank. 4.5 thousand gold up now. Dragon coming up in 20 seconds.
And again, for TT, it needs to be a continuation of this, okay? They need to find this next Drake. They need to continue snowballing as JiaQi looks for an arrow.
Does connect on Keshi. They have a nice defense here. Crescent Guard going to be popped. They have a flank. Look at this moment from Heru. Heru has been the game breaker so far in this series. His first game now going into his second. The Akali that was doubted and the Akali that stands on the skulls of her opponents. Massive moments from TT back to back.
And you'll frequently hear me say this, but I'm so happy to be proven wrong. by a pick. Heru here showing why this Akali can be taken into the Cassia, why it can have such a fun time as this game gets later. Now TT are trying to have their cake and eat it too, put some sprinkles on top. They go for the Baron as two. It's a very slow Baron with Senna, but they're also looking to stop this dragon going down as well.
Heru's so strong, though. You know IG are hesitant. Flash play with the Cataclysm coming in, but now the knockups are there. Heru was left to his own devices, and now Keshi is looking for the double entrance. It's going to be more kills going to TT, and Heru's going to be left to pick up all of the pieces. Baron to TT, kills to TT, Dragon to TT. Everything is Thunder talking tonight.
They have their cake, the sprinkles, the cherry on top, some ice cream on the side, and now JiaQi walks into Junhao.
Oh, he's just dead. Wind becomes lightning, and JiaQi might just become dead. Yep. One more audacious charge gets him in there. Unstoppable onslaught with the knockup from the decimating smash. They're going to try to get him, but he doesn't have damage. He's just a tanky boy. He could just slap him with the stick, but does nothing.
Mazel, ThunderTalk are 8k up. They should very easily take this game to match point and put themselves on the precipice here of a, very, very scary state of affairs for Invictus Gaming. TT still need to close this out. Can't emphasize enough that this does get trickier, and that unless, this game gets to super late and the Senna can become a massive, massive factor for the damage in these fights, theoretically it could be a struggle. But IG are so far down the hole that the wallet diff is enough at this stage for Invictus Gaming to kind of beat their head against the wall and still come out on top, which for TT is a pretty shocking place to be given the composition they've given themselves here. Dragon's going to go their way, so they'll be able to start stacking those up as well. And with this Baron in their back pocket, they'll have a hard time trying to do as well as they did in game number 1. That was a 4,900 gold Baron power play, but I think if they do that again here, the game probably just ends.
And what a stylized comp from TT as well, and bringing some emphasis to On, who, if we can give a little bit of a highlight to for a moment, is standing out on a Senna pick that we don't very much see often, but it's a perfect supportive pick for the composition they have right now. It does have some of that late game scaling, but it is still a centered approach that TT have loved to bring with their carry in the bot lane.
And here we go now, TT. Waves have been pushed. Let's start making some damage happen to these structures. JiaQi loses a third of his HP to
Get
Keshi.
the range, bro.
Yep. And there's the arrow.
Arrow onto the GA target, though, so that is perfectly fine for Junhao. He will gladly play with his life. Nya tries to go for the petrifying gaze. Wade just goes in for the desperate engage. Backline, Keshi, everybody's exploding! IG must have had bombs strapped to them as they are just gone! Breathe, left alone again. The final decision-making tree down, and TT looking for the base push.
I mean, they've got the Baron at their backs. They've got 30 seconds on the death timers, Mazel. This is game 2, signed, sealed, and delivered. ThunderTalk, with an aggressive, all-out, no-holds-barred composition, are about to demolish Invictus Gaming.
They are about to put themselves on match point in a do-or-die series. Group Ascend in their future, in their eyes, on the horizon. And TT looking to upset Invictus Gaming early on into the night of the second series.
And that's 2 for ThunderTalk. 1 more, and they put themselves back in Group Ascend. They will send Invictus Gaming down to Nirvana for the first time since summer 2024 and reclaim a spot with the top dogs. I don't think this was how really any of us would have expected this to happen.
It is crazy because we talk so much about how important it is to have the amount of games you have in Group Ascent, to be able to face off against all these top tier. It should mean something. But IG have lost all answers, and TT have the cheat test ready to go right in front of them, it feels like. It has been ran by Junhao. We have seen Heru own the mid lane, not only in the past, but in the present too. And these are the standouts right now that are really making a difference in this series.
And I think that for, Arn and Feather, they've had a solid performance down on that bot side. They took a bot lane that shouldn't really have too much autonomy, right? The Senna Nautilus can function on its own, but up against Ash Braum, that's a brutal bot lane to try and lane against. They did absolutely fine. And they came out of it, put themselves in a spot where actually we're more valuable to our composition than you are. And we got to see On, you know, 2 items deep on Senna, absolutely ripping through JiaQi, making sure that his life was absolutely miserable. And I think that for Invictus Gaming here, they've just got no idea what's going on. TT coming in should be an easy group Nirvana team for us to sweep aside, and it's been anything but. You know, IG, they've got 1 game, well, they've got 3 games, hopefully, to try and turn it back around, but they need to turn this one around first and try and make something happen.
Yeah, because again, far fall to fall if they do lose this series. We're not only talking about implications for this season, it's about implications for next season as well. It's important to keep in mind, but honing back in on this moment from TT, it's just been some, yes, maybe non-standard drafting in game number 2, but very powerful performance individually, and especially the map movement, the mobility we've seen from these comps and how they've been working together has been very impressive.
It has, and I think that it's ThunderTalk who maybe in the first 5 minutes, let's say, were, you know, kind of on even footing, right? Where that gold graph down on the bottom side, you can see, look, you know, the first 5 minutes, hey, it's pretty even. And even as far as, you know, I'd say for this game, you can sort of chalk it up to the first 20 minutes. But then around that 20-minute marker, there's always a break point. Something happens. It's the same in game number 1, where, you know, we go into this 20-minute game. It's quite even overall. And we're just building and building and building and waiting for this thing to happen for ThunderTalk. And all of a sudden, snap, there we go. They've won the game, right? From where they got that first initial set of gold into winning the game, it's only 5 minutes.
The Heru play in mid lane with the shuriken flip in the shroud, that is highlight reel potential from that man right there. And it's so nice to see performance from a rookie mid like that. And especially against somebody he's had some track record against, but here in the big leagues, in the big moments. And I'm sure we're going to get a replay of that at some point in these highlights.
I mean, even just the small things in this fight, because this is the first thing that goes well for TT. This is after, you know, Nia had a pretty rough time of things. But look, he's trying to get in range. He's actually not autoing or getting any twin fangs down on anyone by the time he's actually
they just
doing
line
damage. Yeah, he's already dead. So it was an absolute massacre there. And for this replay, actually, keep your eyes on Feather. Look at what Feather does in this one as he comes in. Okay, dead to rights, no. Flash, locket, heal. Gets Junhao enough time to flash away, then Crescent Guard. And yeah, you know what? Feather dies, absolutely. But Junhao was able to stay alive, and that's a win for IG. This is the mid lane, the Heru moment that we're looking for as a double knockup comes through. But yeah, again, Akali, beautiful to watch here.
Just so great. And just the mechanics, being able to use this little extra room for the perfect execution through the barrier and back to safety. And then it just didn't stop there. It felt like he had some potential catches coming through, but this shock blast rained damage onto IG. On top of the Dawning Shadow, JiaQi is literally out of the fight already, and Keshi makes sure of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult for the Ashe because the people that you're trying to auto-attack this game, they don't exist. If you're auto-attacking a Kali, then she's 1v1ing you. And if you're in range to auto-attack the Jace, still also killing you. If you're not in range to auto-attack anyone, you're getting hit by Shock Blasts and Senna.
Dude, Junhao going with the twofer. He like threw out both fists. He had the smite go one way and the wind becomes lightning go the other. The dude was double gunning. And just felt like highlight reel central for TT in game 2. And where is IG? They had some bad performances, but this ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, this game, again, feels like they just made one bad decision. Like, they went for that Baron, okay? The Baron started because they did pick. They found Junhao before that Baron had started. So they weren't able to actually find a fight on a 4 versus 5. And by the time Junhao gets in, obviously, there's that complete disaster that happens. But those veterans that we're highlighting there, they've not done anything, right? Again, the junglers are the big part of this series. If Wei pops off, IG pop off. If Wei's absent, they go down 0-2 versus TT.
No matter how many games you have played Unks, you got to have hands too. So far, the BMW Unks, they don't have it right now. They don't have it. Maybe check back later. which is something we'll be doing here shortly. But before that, we got to think about the MVP here for game number 2. I think it's got to be Heru.
Yeah, we're both looking at Heru here. Again, odds that Junhao might get a vote possible, but Heru was crucial through those fights. Had really solid engages, really solid flanks as well. You know, so often you'll see Akali be played and then just not able to even get through the front door. I mean, Heru wasn't just going through the back; he was kicking in windows and like demolishing all the walls as well. Like it was.
Somebody called the police.
It was a masterclass. Yeah.
Unless he was supposed to be there, then that might just be a construction crew. But that just depends on the perspective, I guess. In a lot of cases, though, but we do see Heru with that MVP, rightfully so, and the first one for him.
And a big congratulations, obviously, to Heru. Their first MVP count. Not going to be something that he's maybe disappointed by in this game, but somebody extra from this TT side to come up and find a win for. For me, I think that's long overdue. He's had many games where he's been a solid performer for ThunderTalk, and finally time that he gets the recognition deserved.
Yeah, and against Nya as well. It's not even like some old established GOAT. It's not one of those moments. It's against the pure new blood, I guess, of the LPL. But that's it for game 2. On the other side, desperation time for IG to find something in this series, or do TT make it a 3-0? We'll see.